evening and welcome to Birmingham Seaholm High School for this varsity lacrosse matchup between the Clarkston Wolves and our very own Birmingham United Bulldogs. I'm Brad Fetters for BACB Sports, welcoming you inside our coverage this evening. We start off with the visitors from Clarkston. They come in with a 6-3 record, including a win over Stony Creek 10-9 in their last ball game. Their head coach, Brian Kamiskas, is alongside our very own Andy Aubrey.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. We're here with Brian Kamiskas, who is the head coach of the Clarkston Wolves. Welcome to Birmingham first, Brian. And why don't you just fill our viewers in a little bit about you as a coach, how you came to be the coach of Clarkston.
I was hired in the fall of 2005, so I've been here for a number of years. I believe they were on their third season when I was brought in. I've been going ever since. I've been coaching since 1992. So, yeah, we've been around a little bit. Proud to say our staff are all alumni of the program, all the way down through our first second grade team.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Clarkston, as I've known them, has got a tremendous tradition in all athletics, but in lacrosse specifically, and I know Brother Rice is also way up there, and you know them well. How do you break down some of the talent here in the state right now?
Oh, yeah. I think you have to look at Rice and Catholic Central, the Catholics, right? I mean, they're some of the top we have. And then right here, I mean, Birmingham is a top talent. They're very good this year. And then, there's a couple others floating around. I think on the west side, Forest Hill Central is doing quite well, East Grand Rapids. But, yeah, I think the traditional strong teams are still the traditional strong teams, yeah.
Let's talk about your team now. What can we see from you tonight? What are we looking forward to with your squad?
So we're pretty young, which is kind of nice, for this year and the future. Our goalie is a freshman, a true freshman. We have only one senior on the attack unit and two seniors on the defensive unit. So I'm sorry, three seniors today on the defensive unit. So it'll be a lot of youth, but I think we have a pretty good attack and a pretty nice defense. So it should be pretty fun.
Okay. Well, again, we welcome you here and wish you the best of luck. And we're going to wrap this up for now. Let you get back to your team to start warm up and get ready for this one. But we'll send it back to Brad for right now.
All right, thank you so much, Coach and Andy. Clarkston, a terrific 19-3 record a season ago, made it all the way to the state semifinals before losing to Brother Rice, the eventual state championship. So this should be quite a measuring stick game for Birmingham. These two teams familiar with one another. It is an OAA White Conference game, in Birmingham off to a terrific start. 6-1 overall, including winners of their last three contests. They started off the season 3-0 before dropping a tough one to Lake Orion on the road, but have come right back with three straight wins, including wins over South Lyon East, Stony Creek, and a win over St. Andrews, a Canadian high school. Nick Stenson is the head man at Birmingham, and he's now alongside our very own Andy Aubrey.
All right, Brad, thanks again. We're here with Coach Nick Stenson now from Birmingham. 6-1 this year, having a heck of a year. Bring us up to speed on the overall season so far.
I mean, we're having a lot of fun. The leadership of the senior group is showing. It's certainly a player-led group, so the motivation's all coming from them, and we're just trying to get out of their way, to be honest with you. They're having a lot of fun. They're playing well, so we're keeping that rolling.
Okay. Clarkston coming in, which, by the way, Brian paid you guys a great compliment that he considers Birmingham, Rice, CC, some of the others as the cream of the crop in this state. What do you know about Clarkston, though? They've got a tremendous tradition, don't they?
Yeah, and honestly, he created it, which is a compliment to him. But they relentlessly work in all the non-stat areas, riding, clearing, ground balls. They're relentless, and they never give up. Doesn't matter if they're out of a game score-wise. Like they'll crawl back in. So a very tough, defiant, Clarkston culture with maybe a little bit less skill, a little bit younger this year. So, but we're expecting a battle.
Say they're young. Let's finish up talking about your team. Who's been carrying the mail for you? Who's been the standout players?
I mean, I think our lifeblood is 22, Spencer Garrett, and number 3 today, James Chinotis. Another guy, junior, that came to us and is a bright spot is Brett Feldmeyer, just a fabulously skilled player. But the pulse of our team is out of those two guys that I mentioned first, Chinotis and Garrett.
Great. All right, well, we'll look for them. Best of luck to you. They've come into our house. Don't let them walk out with a win, but we wish you both the best of luck, and we'll wrap it up from down here. But don't go away. The start of this one is coming right up.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Welcome back to Birmingham Seaholm High School, opening face-off of the game. Birmingham Bulldogs in their home white jersey, Clarkston in their road blues, that notorious Michigan-inspired helmet that the Clarkston Wolves wear not only for football, but lacrosse as well. Brad Fetters joined alongside my broadcast partner, Andy Aubrey. Varsity lacrosse should be a good one this evening. Playing under crystal clear blue skies. Temperature has dropped considerably. One of those nights where we are lucky to be inside the press box. Temperature's currently 52 degrees. And it'll be Birmingham with the opening possession of the game. Spencer Garrett works his way around the defender, winds up and fires one home. First goal of the game belongs to Birmingham. And it is Spencer Garrett, the midfielder, 17th goal of the season.
Well, 35 seconds into this one, it didn't take long, and he was getting bodied up over there, but he found himself a little crease and whipped it in with a sidewinder. And Birmingham enjoys the early 1-0 lead.
That is a perfect way to open up play here. You mentioned 35 seconds into the contest. These are two evenly matched teams. It went the way of Clarkston a season ago, 14-8, in that magical run for the Clarkston Wolves all the way to the state semifinals. Little late switch. Fresh player, and Hughes comes on now. Hughes, a senior. Armbrust Mocker, where's number 4? Puts a little juke move on his defender, works his way around Ellis York. Maintains possession. Armbrust Mocker over to Spencer Garrett, the goal scorer. Little three-man ball with Hughes. Armbrust Mocker, the sophomore. He's kind of an attacker and a midfielder. Will play multiple positions on the offensive end for Birmingham here tonight. Fieldmare tried to work his way around in front of the crease, defers back. This is a good possession here for Birmingham. Can they make good on it? Very patient offense. Another quick shot. It's Birmingham closest to that ball as it went out, so they'll retain Frank Hill. One of the quarterbacks behind the net. A lot of the offense will go through those two players behind the cage. Looking for some separation, doesn't find it. Ambrosmacher on the outside. Perimeter play along with Garrett. Works his way around the screen. And it's Spencer Garrett, second of the ball game. Gives BU the 2-0 lead.
Well, Birmingham had their Wheaties this morning. They have been forcing the issue here this first early couple of minutes. And let's take a look at it, Brad. This is just a nice way to find yourself a crease and get that sliver of an opening and make it good for the second goal of this game. And don't look now, but the big bad Clarkston Wolves find themselves down 2-0.
It's got to be a little bit of a shock to Clarkston here on the road. This is a very high-powered Birmingham offense, but I don't think anybody maybe predicted this start to the game. 2 possessions, 2 goals.
Well, in speaking with Brian Kaminskas before the game, he was very complimentary of Birmingham's program and what Coach Stenson's been able to put together here. Brian himself is very much ingrained in the Clarkston world of lacrosse, having been there since '05, as he mentioned, and a lot of their staff, if not, I think he said all their staff is actually alum of the school. So it's a very honorable tradition they've got going here.
Doorstep opportunity. Denny Wandry with the opportunity, turned aside. Goaltenders tonight, Ethan Jeffrey in net for Birmingham. Countering him will be a freshman, Robert Horacek in net for the Wolves. So we mentioned Birmingham, a high-powered offense averaging over 14 goals per game, coming off 3 straight victories, including their last one against St. Andrews, a Canadian school. 16-6 over Stony Creek, 11-9 over South Lyon East. The lone loss of the season was to Lake Orion on the road, 12-8. Those 8 goals were their lowest offensive output of the season. Their highest, 20 goals against Royal Oak. OAA matchup. Perennial powers are the Clarkston Wolves. Mentioned Coach Kamiskas. Kind of a program builder. He founded the team over at Troy Athens. He's also coached at Bloomfield and Eisenhower. Came down between Romeo and Clarkston, and he took the Clarkston job. Member of the High School Lacrosse Association Hall of Fame. Oh boy, there was a high whack. They're going to get Brady Earring. He absolutely slashed Spencer Garrett. It was a little bit of a high hit. They're going to send off, it wasn't Ty Duffy. That's who's going to the box. It was clearly Brady Earring, number 14, with that long stick. I think the referees misidentified the guilty party there.
We need referee replay.
Yeah.
Just like umpire replay.
They got the call right. It was clearly a slash. 1 minute penalty here against Clarkston. Let's see. Nope, I think they finally have identified who it is. It will be Earring that's going to sit for a minute. It was a good, healthy whack, that is for sure. He earned that minute.
Yes, he did. He got his money's worth there.
So man advantage now for the Bulldogs. Early 2-0 lead. Nick Stenson. Birmingham coaching brain trust down there. So here we go. 5 defenders, 6 Bulldogs on the attack. An opportunity to take a big 3-0 lead. Exactly the way Birmingham would draw it up. And one of the cutters there for Birmingham took a spill. He was knocked off the play. And that creates the turnover. That was Frank Hill that went down. And now Clarkston able to vacate their own end. Romero up ahead. Whoa! Short-handed opportunity. Boy, they don't get much better than that.
No, they moved the ball up the field very nicely and had a clear shot. He just went to the right of the goal and harmlessly goes to the fence behind.
It was Luke Darnell with an absolute laser. Was trying to go short side on Ethan Jeffrey and missed wide. So Clarkston maintains possession. Kendall McEwen splits a couple defenders, stood up momentarily, now had it knocked off his stick, kicked around and kicked directly to the goaltender, Ethan Jeffrey. Is going to be able to clear it out. Right into the stick of Jace Luger. Luger splits right down the middle. Look out. All kinds of steam behind him. And had his shot blocked. Molinari with that long stick. The defender going to inch his way across the midfield stripe. Wandry from the midfield will come in. Late addition. He has it now on the short side of the field. Defers back to Darnell. Back to Wandry. Wandry to Darnell. Darnell looks. Spots a man off the bench. That's Royce, the sophomore. Royce wears 17 in blue for Clarkston. Far side of the field now for Ellis York. Trying to weave his way through 3 defenders. Flag comes out. What do we got? 1 minute slashing infraction this time. I believe it's going to go against Birmingham. So the Bulldogs unable to capitalize on their man advantage.
Well, maybe they can put a shorthanded opportunity together. down the field that the Clarkston Wolves were able to piece together when they were a man down.
Connell Hughes, the guilty party. Senior midfielder's going to have to sit for a minute. Because Dighton wears number 1, gets it now. Attacker in midfield for Clarkston. Through the stick there of Furman and out of play. So costly miscue for Clarkston. They'll give Birmingham the ball. Cross field toss into the long stick of Sebastian Henry. Henry directs traffic upfield. Able to find Garrett. Garrett with both goals here in the early goings. Goals number 17 and 18 on the season. There's a turnover. Some contact made. McEwen able to pick up that loose ball. He paid the absolute price for picking it up as he was belted to the turf. He springs up, back up on 2 feet. Clarkston looking to break out. Long stick defenseman, Brady Earing. He took a whack. Gottsman got him. So a little long stick on long stick action there. 2 teams trade blows. Trying to duck out of the way. Whistle blows. Dighton. And we got a timeout called with 4:39 left to go in the first. It'll be a 2-minute timeout. 2 teams will talk things over. And there you can see the Ohana on the back of the Clarkston helmets. Ohana obviously meaning family in Hawaiian.
Yeah. Yep. Just like the Fago.
That was taken from the Hawaiian football team. Kind of something that the Clarkston staff and players for quite some time now have kind of bought into and have used as sort of their pledge. Kind of an interesting take.
Well, if Birmingham wanted to knock these guys off, starting out 2-0 is the way you want to do it. You surely don't want to try and come back against a team like this. So it's going to be important for Nick's team to maybe put a couple more up even, because we know one thing about Clarkston. They've got a lot of firepower. You've been mentioning it, Brad. They've got scores all across their roster. So, you're not going to want to have to come back against a team like that. They'll hurt you. But the way things have started out for the Birmingham squad has been a positive for them, and the key will be to keep the foot on the gas.
And Clarkston has a 21-goal performance against Lance Cruz North. They've scored 18 goals against Bloomfield, 20 goals against Oxford. So you are right. This is a Clarkston team that can score in bunches. Played nearly 8 minutes here this first quarter, and they do have a couple shot attempts. Ethan Jeffries made a couple saves, but really, Birmingham has dictated play. Wandry goes over to Royce. Royce got it in on Jeffrey. Now Jeffrey in Birmingham. Able to find a man, Luger, right down the middle. That's where he kind of sort of camps out. Goes to the outside now, and Birmingham will settle down in their offensive formation. Looking to build on that 2-0 lead. Cradling the ball on the near side. Feldmeyer, he is a dangerous one. Leading scorer for this Birmingham squad is Brett Feldmeyer. 28 goals on the season, 14 assists. He wears 17 in white. Player to pay attention to, obviously, for this Bulldog squad. Feldmeyer has it now. Looks to create. Looking for that separation, looking for a cutter. Had one. Goes through a stick, trying to pick up that loose ball. Hughes couldn't. Wolves able to capitalize on it. York. Over to Wandry. Wandry with the speed burst. Defers over to Dighton. Loose ball out in front of the crease. Picked up for Merrill, the sophomore. Now a flag comes out late from the near sideline.
I think they're going to say, it looks like they might have had too many players out on the
Offensive side.
the
perhaps.
field, yeah.
one too many attackers on their side of midfield.
And the Clarkston side does not look pleased with that call.
Sort of moving their bench down too.
There's always that gray area. It's a lot like hockey in that, the players go on and off the playing surface. Oh!
And there it is.
Wow.
Feldmeyer, 29th goal of the season on the man advantage. And that, my friends, was an absolute rocket.
Yeah, let's look at this again. This was a very skilled shot from fairly far out front. I want to say about 10 yards, 20, 15 yards away. Boom, 3-0 Birmingham, and they're on a roll.
It's Penn Roberts able to pick up that loose ball. So Birmingham had kind of been stuck on that 2 goals. 7 minutes passes between goals, and all of a sudden a 3-0 lead now. The home team comfortably in front. Spencer Garrett just going to kind of hold it here. Armbruster will slowly make his way into the fray. Another side-winding shot right underneath the crossbar. Spencer Garrett. That's the hat trick, Andy.
Not bad. Not a bad first period, right? Not a bad first quarter of this one. That's, Birmingham came to play tonight. This is, it's going well for Coach Stenson's side. And Clarkston's looking around at each other right now. I'm not saying they took Birmingham lightly, of course not, but they're a little shell-shocked at the moment, I think.
45 seconds in between goals, and that was a bomb off of the stick of Garrett. Third goal of the game gives him 19 now on the season, and boy, oh boy, he has earned that drink of water. So it'll be Ethan Jeffrey, the goalkeeper, to trigger. Under 2 minutes left to go in the opening quarter of play. So glad you decided to tune us in here on BACB Sports. Brad Fetters alongside my broadcast partner, Andy Aubrey, bringing you the sights and sounds from Birmingham Seaholm High School. As we got a penalty flag comes out. Armbruster knocked to the turf. I don't think the Clarkston bench is going to be too happy with this penalty call. Two officials are going to talk things over. More than likely going to be a cross-checking call, if I had to guess.
And you see these referees with these pale purple, those orchid T-shirts on. Those are being sold here tonight. It's a Birmingham Lacrosse initiative called Stick It to Cancer. And that is a worthy cause, to say the least, one that's near and dear to my heart. So we support that cause all day and all night. And
looks like they're going to wave off the penalty call. So we'll get another look at it here. Yep. Armbruster just blew a tire. He just flat out fell.
It happens. The turf monster.
So nice job by the officials there to correct the wrong. On the surface, it probably looked really bad, as there is another goal. Feldmeyer's 30th goal now of the season, second in this ball game. Boy, oh boy, what a start for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, this is not really what we expected. I mean, we expected a very evenly matched game, especially with the pedigree of the Clarkston team that came in. We have not seen Clarkston. We've seen a lot of Heartland. We've seen Lake Orion. We've seen Troy. We've seen a lot of different schools. It's kind of fun to call other schools. We see these unified teams in Birmingham, like lacrosse and hockey. But Clarkston, their reputation precedes them, and if you've ever been to their high school, they've got amazing facilities out there too.
And there is the opening goal of the game for the Wolves. Nicholas Furman, the senior attacker, with the goal. So that's going to make Clarkston happy. They're not going to get shut out here in this opening quarter of play.
No, and it's a funny game in that there's a lot of runs. There's momentum, and it seems like, don't look now type of thing. You can go 2-3 goals in a row in a blink of an eye. So we're still in the first quarter, folks.
16 seconds. That's quite the answer for Furman and the Wolves. Boy, look at that individual effort. Oh, my goodness. He spins it home. Spencer Garrett's 4th goal of the game, and they don't get any better than that, folks. You have got to be kidding me. Pinballs off defenders, spins, pirouettes, and fires it home. I hope we have multiple looks at this goal.
Yeah, and here's the first one. You can't coach this, folks. Look at this turn and a no-look, kind of an underhand scoop shot that skips in, and that was a thing of beauty right there. So Birmingham maintains the 5-goal lead with that big goal. And as we were running out of the first quarter, it's been Bulldog time up and down the field.
6-1 now. 4 goals scored by Spencer Garrett gives him 20 now on the season. And I don't think any have been as pretty as that one. Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, that's certainly in this game. That's the takes the case.
Terrific cut and a goal. Cooper Jerkovich, 11th of the season. The Bulldogs pouring it on now.
Yeah, this is a relentless assault, I'd have to say. Certainly the best lacrosse game from Birmingham's point of view that we've called, I think, Brad, in quite a long time, if not ever. This is the 7th goal here. Kind of a bounce job.
Nothing Harachik could do. It has been sustained offensive pressure, and here's going to be another opportunity for Birmingham off of the face-off. Feldmeyer again, his 3rd goal of the game, 31st goal of the season.
That took 5 seconds.
It did.
From the face-off to the net. I thought for sure that was the going to be the end of the quarter, but no. There's still 3 seconds left. Think they got time for another one? That's being a little greedy.
It is.
Let's take a look at it here. It hits the crossbar and bounces down and in.
See the Clarkston Wolves. Nope, the buzzer will sound to end play. Well, if you like offense, you've certainly come to the right place. 8 first-quarter goals, including 4 off the stick of Spencer Garrett, 3 off the stick of Brett Feldmeyer. 8 goals in total for the Bulldogs, just 1 for the Clarkston Wolves. Clarkston back to the drawing book as they look to come up with some sort of answer to stop the offensive output for the Bulldogs. Second quarter of play coming up next right here on BACB Sports.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. Continuing coverage here on BACB Sports. 8-1 Birmingham in front of Clarkston. It'll be the Bulldogs with the opening possession of the second quarter of play. And man, oh man, tic-tac-toe passing into the back of the net. Brody Feldmeyer now, the freshman, gets involved. His 11th goal of the season. Are we having fun yet?
Birmingham is. Let's take a look at this latest goal. Birmingham on pace to score 32. I don't know if their record, what that is and how close to it would be, but it has been all Birmingham all the time over here, and they picked up right where they left off at the end of the first quarter, scoring just, well, it took them 35 seconds to score the first goal of quarter number 1. This one only took 8 seconds. So they're getting better, if that's possible. But we are seeing an onslaught, is the only way to describe it. An avalanche, if you will, of goals being scored by the Bulldogs. And one would think as early as this game is, one would assume that they just need to play good defense the rest of the way out. Because Clarkston has had very little going for them offensively. And credit the defense of Birmingham, but they just sort of look a little slower to the ball. And Birmingham has had every single answer, and their shots have been on point, and they're just dominating this game.
Well, it has started in the face-off circle. I think the Bulldogs really have dominated that performance, and it has set up some quick and easy goals. As you mentioned, they scored 35 seconds into the game. They scored 6 seconds into the second quarter. All it took was a face-off win, 3 passes, and a goal. And now Clarkston, in desperate need of some offense, just have to inch their way closer. It's going to be a gigantic hill to climb as they try the bounce shot. And it'll be a race to the end line. It's going to be won by Clarkston. They were nearest to that ball when it went out, so they'll retain. Furman has it. He has the lone goal in this game for Clarkston. Royce. Back to Dighton. Dighton kind of does a sidestep. Shakes off the defender. Oh, looking for the behind-the-back shot. York. Boy, oh boy, that would have been a highlight reel.
Yeah, it was really nice. Nice effort by them.
This is the time of the year for lacrosse. College game starts to wind down a little bit. Be playing some conference championship games this weekend. Obviously, Memorial Day weekend, the big weekend for college lacrosse. That's when the national championship game is played. University of Michigan has become somewhat of a dominant team in the Big Ten as Kendall McEwen scores the second Clarkston goal of the game.
Well, like I mentioned, it's a game of runs, and Clarkston's going to need a heck of a run to get back into this one. They're down 9-2, but if you're Birmingham, you do have to keep the pressure on. You don't want to let up. We're still just barely at the 10-minute mark of the second quarter, so there's a lot of lacrosse to be played here. And I guess, human nature, it's psychology, you do tend to want to rest up a little bit when you've got such a huge lead, but it's not the time to do it.
We've talked about that in different sports, especially in the game of football, when you do have a running clock in the second half when you go up 5 scores. When you go up 35 points, you get a running clock. In the game of lacrosse, it's anytime you go over 12-goal lead in the second half, you'll see a running clock. And it's kind of a little bit of a slippery slope, right, in terms of when to keep the pedal down and when to maybe pull off some of the starters and kind of call the dogs off, so to speak. And you obviously don't want to embarrass a team, and I don't think that's going to happen here. This Clarkston team way too proud, too well coached. Can't imagine they'll fall too far behind. I think this is a team that's going to work themselves back into this game. But like I say, it's kind of a tough predicament for a lot of coaches.
Yeah, and they are young, which Coach Kaminskas told me they've got a lot of sophomores and juniors on the roster, a couple freshmen. So all should have a chance to play on both sides tonight.
Have that freshman in goal, Robert Horachek. He has faced a barrage of shots from Birmingham through a quarter and some here in the second. 3.5 minutes of the second quarter. 9-2 our score. Birmingham in front. Think it's to 8 first quarter goals. Well, they go and score 6 seconds into the second quarter. Clarkston has answered back with their second goal of the game. Goal scorers for the Wolves are Nicholas Furman and Kendall McEwen. Birmingham so very patient. Frank Hill just missed the net. They don't rush things. They always look in complete control.
Yeah, both teams really, you can tell, are well coached and they're crisp. And is this, we got another goal?
We sure do. It's Spencer Garrett again. That gives him 5 in the game. Give yourself a night, huh?
Yeah, when do we start looking up records for all-time goal scorers? Let's see this last goal. It is another thing of beauty. They've all been he just comes from behind the net, sneaks around almost, kind of unassumingly, puts it in from point-blank range at roughly 10 feet.
We got Aaron Frank next door. We may have to go to him at some point and see if he can get out the Birmingham Unified record book.
Yeah.
It's in storage. We know that. And there's another goal. This time it's a bounce shot. Penn Roberts' second goal of the season. Really impressive stuff out of this BU team.
Yeah, and notice Aaron's got his Lions warm-up jacket on. He's got the old school 60s logo with 2 stripes, the stretched out line, one of my favorites. And we come to you tonight on the night of the opening of the NFL draft going on downtown. And let's see this last goal. And it was down low, hit the ground on the bounce, and goes in for the 11th goal of the evening for Birmingham. Still 7:44 to play in the second quarter. And I'm sure some of the Clarkston Wolves feel like it's been a lifetime, the way this game has played out for them. But there's no quit in them, obviously, so they will be still dangerous as we cycle through this one.
BU right back on the attack. Beckett Bambro had it, lost it. Jerkovic regains control. Bulldogs with it. 6:48 left to go, first half of play. Twisting and turning, Jake Coyle still has it. Birmingham bringing in some reserves. Getting the pick, going out to the perimeter, changing directions. Brody Feldmeyer, and turned aside Horacek. Clarkston on the outside. Looking to pull within 8. Ground ball. Battle for it. And won and controlled by Clarkston. Wandry goes over to Furman. Furman, one of the 2 Clarkston goals. Little fake pass, McEwen. Fake shot. A little balk there. And right into the midsection of Ethan Jeffrey. Probably the toughest save that he has had to make this evening.
Yeah, he does a nice job with this shot. It was a point-blank shot that he stood tall against. And the Wolves had a little something going there for a minute, but it was thwarted at the last moment. So will go the other way, and here they come again. So, you know, they'd like to score a couple more heading into the half to just give them some semblance of momentum. Birmingham, on the other hand, is having none of it. They seem to keep turning it around over and over again and putting the pressure on down at the Clarkston end. So
Chinonis was just absolutely harassing Luke Darnell with that long stick. Unable to complete the pass. However, Lucas Dighton will be the nearest Wolf to the ball. Nope, they're going to say BU ball. It'll be Jace Luger to trigger on the far side of the field. He's just going to take off with it. Use his speed to his advantage. Works himself around 3 Clarkston players. Caleb Garrett, where's number 5 in white for Birmingham. Feldmeyer on that far side. Spencer Garrett just going to take his time. Cradles the ball. See if he makes his move. 5 goals already. Was looking for half a dozen. And just flung it too far outside.
And if you're Birmingham, you can definitely afford to maintain possession and sort of not milk the clock yet, but I would say dictate tempo more often than not out here to be able to just sort of play a little keep away.
That pass a little too tall. It'll lead it to a turnover. Clarkston doesn't have numbers. Finally, some trailing offensive players come in on the attack. Nicholas Furman passed too low for him. Scooped up by Will Angel. Angel calling for it. Instead, they'll go over to Ethan Jeffrey, the goaltender, using his own goal as a bit of a buffer. Couldn't connect. The ball just rolls through the midfield. A couple players tangle up there as Brady Earring fell down. Kicked around. This isn't soccer. This is lacrosse. Finally controlled via the stick by Parker Royce. Screen set for Ellis York. Flings it up ahead into the long stick of Earring. Earring with that long stick. Quick shovel pass over to Furman. Furman takes a couple whacks. Finds Wandry coming on late. Minskis not happy with something. Was kind of vocal along the near side. Was looking for answers. Not sure if he found them. York pulls up. Completes the pass. Wolves looking to build. Dighton. Getting hooked. Dighton. Right in front of the net. Good feed in front for Merrow. Able to cash in the 3rd Clarkston goal of the game.
And this was a really nice play. They moved the ball around expertly. Passes were crisp. They found the open man right out front, and he made good on it for the 3rd goal for Clarkston now. 11-3, 2 minutes 32 left to play here in the 2nd quarter. Let's take another look at it. And a little bit of shifty back and forth. Finds the open man right at the doorstep. And in she went for number 3.
So there you go. There's your youth movement right there. You got Lucas Dighton setting up the play. He's a sophomore. And it was Charlie Fermero right in front who scores the goal and gets fired up. He, too, just a sophomore. So the future bright for this Clarkston squad.
And when you have such a young team, I don't care what sport you're talking about, you're going to have a rough year, down year now and then, and you just have to sort of weather those seasons knowing full well that there's brighter days on the horizon. And I think that's probably an apt description of where this Clarkston varsity team is at in terms of the youth on their team. So they will be back, and we will see them again next year, maybe that a little wiser, a little older, a little more experienced.
Couple goals here before the halftime break would be huge. Parker Royce, another sophomore, just onto the field. Goes over to Yellis York. Flings it over top of the cage. Dighton, the quarterback, back there. Nearest person to the ball, so Wolves will retain possession. A little bit of a screen set by Darnell. Now coming out, Dighton had a man. Ellis York pulled the trigger and couldn't find the net. So Darnell will reset once again. Third opportunity for Clarkston on this offensive possession. And a really nice defensive play. Cohen Nystrom made it with the long stick. Now he kind of flung it backwards. And it'll stay with Clarkston, however. Minute 5 left to go in the first half of play. Birmingham in front 11-3. Lucas Dighton takes a bit of a whack there. Survives it. Goes over to Ellis York. Spins around a defender. Clanks one off the post. Flag comes out. This will be a Birmingham penalty. It'll be a 1 minute for holding.
Holding, yeah. Yeah, that was nearly the fourth goal of the game for Clarkston. It was a good shot. He just clanked it off the post, and it turned not to be, as they say.
Iron unkind that time for Ellis York. Goalie's best friend, right? The goal post. So it'll be Mark Nardone to sit. Nardone is going to sit for the remaining portion. Well, nope, they're only going to get him for 30-second penalty. I thought the official on that far side of the field said a minute. So stand corrected, and just 7 seconds now remaining on the infraction, and Birmingham's going to be able to kill this thing off. They'll release off, and just 15 seconds now left in the first half. 3 BU goals here in the second quarter of play, 2 for Clarkston. So Birmingham has widened that lead to 11-3. Maybe one opportunity left before the halftime break, and it will, in fact, count. Brent Feldmeyer, another goal for that young man, gives him 4 in the game.
Well, they topped themselves. The end of the first quarter, they scored with 3 seconds left. This time there's 1 second left on the clock, and you see it here. And, wow, I mean.
So 9 of the 12 BU goals scored between Spencer Garrett and Brett Feldmeyer. 1 second left to go in the first half. Wow, talk about a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
So a little two-headed monster offensively for BU. We got 2 players in the running for BACB Sports Player of the Game. We'll find out if those 2 can create some separation amongst themselves as we look ahead to the second half of play. Andy, your thoughts on what was an exciting first half of play with BU in front of Clarkston 12-3?
Yeah, this might be one of the first time we have a team award for BACB Sport Player of the Game, Players of the Game. It's been all Birmingham here today, and I'm sure as both teams head to the locker room, you see Birmingham going into theirs. Coach Tenson's going to be all about telling the guys to stay with the plan, do what you're doing, and in terms of the Clarkston side, they've got to regroup. They've got a long road ahead of them if they want to get back in this one.
9-goal advantage for the Bulldogs. 12-3 our score. The 2 teams will talk things over at halftime. Andy and I will catch our breath. And when we return, it'll be the start of the third quarter of play. Don't go anywhere.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Nearly set to go, second half of play. Brad Fetters alongside Andy Aubrey, BACB Sports. Birmingham in front 12-3, Andy, and really offensive production. 5 goals from Spencer Garrett, and you get 4 out of Brett Feldmeyer. Really just outstanding offensive play as BU. We've talked about it. They have dictated play.
Yeah, this was a night to look up thesaurus.com in terms of domination. I mean, it's been a barrage of goals from Birmingham from start to finish. With the 35th second into this game, to the last 1 second of the second quarter. We're only halfway through. They've got 12 goals so far. So solid performance. I was just in the press box next door to us. We're looking at some of the highlights here now from that first half. And, again, all Bulldogs. But the consensus from athletic director Aaron Frank is that Birmingham Lacrosse is on firm footing, especially this evening. So we'll see how the second half plays out.
Oh, boy. And no flag, so they're going to say that it was a clean play as the stick out of the hands move worked out to perfection there. As it kind of got a little bit of an audible gasp from the crowd. As I guess you could include me as well.
Yeah, that hack job, that's a move. That's a go-to for these guys. But you just better hope you hit the other stick, not an arm or a wrist of the other player.
So BU subs some players on, including Hughes. Hughes comes on. Spencer Garrett. It'll be Brett Feldmeyer with it. Mentioned Feldmeyer 4 first half goals. Clarkston with the takeaway. Ooh, intercepted. Kind of telegraphed that pass. Feldmeyer picked it off. Goes across the field to Garrett. And Garrett has been pretty sure-fired down there.
And a lot of lacrosse balls go to that end up over that berm, It's
The
sort of
grassy knoll.
yeah, it's like looking for golf balls. Sometimes you think, oh, there we go, another Birmingham goal.
That one's called the 5-hole. And that, my friends, is Spencer Garrett once again. That's his 6th goal of this contest.
Garrett's having a season in one game here tonight. Unbelievable effort by him. Let's take a look at it here. And some of the Clarkston players looking a little flat-footed there. Not saying they're giving up. Definitely not saying that. They're competitors. But Spencer was able to just sort of weave his way around several of the defenders and find himself an opening, and he made good on it.
So that's a half dozen now for Garrett. And he came into play with 16, so it gives him 22 now on the season. A reminder that we will have a running clock if the score is a margin, a lead of 12 or more goals. So right now it sits at 10. And that lead will shrink down to 9 as Lucas Dighton able to cash in for the Wolves. So you hinted at it. Clarkston not going to go away.
Oh, no. No. They will not go away. Absolutely not. And there's too much skill and too much pride over there amongst the players and the coaches. So they are a formidable foe. Make no mistake about it. And Birmingham, should they go on to win this game, regardless of the margin of victory, they really know that they've been in competition with a very quality team. So,
well, somebody forgot to guard Lucas Dighton on that last goal as he was wide open in front of the crease. Ethan Jeffrey, Birmingham netminder, had no chance. No defender even around Dighton within 5 yards of him. So a little bit of a defensive breakdown there for Birmingham. They'll look to regroup with possession of it now. Looking to extend that lead back up to double digits. Talked about it throughout the first half. It's just a very patient unit that Birmingham has. 9-7 a season ago. Playing some of the toughest competition within the state. And then you look at the two opponents in the postseason. Perennial Powers and Howell, a 10-9 victory over them in the first round of the playoffs. And then you take on Brighton, and Birmingham falls victim to Brighton in double overtime by an identical 10-9 game. So just an ultra difficult part of the region here for Birmingham. And there's a post.
Clank.
Comes all the way out to Spencer Garrett. So the shot of Feldmeyer clanks off the post, rebounds all the way out to Garrett. Birmingham retains possession. Look out. And it hits the side of the net. And Horacek able to pick it up and will look to clear it out. He's going to feel a little bit of pressure from Brody Feldmeyer. The freshman's not going to make it easy on fellow freshman goaltender Horacek. And that was knocked the stick out of the hands of a Clarkston player.
That was sort of a his stick came flying, kind of pirouetted and windmilled, I guess. Let's see if we can take a look at it here. Whack, and there, there it goes.
Well, it's one way to separate ball from player.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
I think they have the wrong player in the box. Hughes is in the box, and I thought that was number 13. But I'm sure the official's right. So man advantage now for Clarkston. 14 seconds remaining, and they're going to cash in and celebrate behind the net. Kendall McEwen with the goal. His second of the ball game.
Well, sure, it's still a very comfortable lead, but, and let's take a look at this last goal.
Well, there's the fake.
It makes you wonder, Birmingham had better be careful. You don't want to end up having to hang on by a thread to pull out a victory here, especially as well as they played in the first half. We're still 8 minutes left to play in the third, and, 8 goals, it's quite a few, but Birmingham needs to maybe focus back on the offensive side of things here for the next few minutes.
Yeah, getting back to that winning way of Lacrosse. High possession rate. Back-to-back goals now for Clarkston. Lucas Dighton, Kendall McEwen, your 2 goal scorers here in the third quarter of play. 13-5 our score, 7:25 left to go in the third quarter. Creating that separation and netting another goal. Brody Feldmeyer, the freshman. It's his second goal of the game, so you're getting some goal scorers scoring in bunches.
Yeah, spreading the wealth a little bit. Always good to see the youngsters getting in on the action. We'll take a look at this last goal here from Brody. And just he goes high with that shot into the net.
Frank Hill with the assist. Another face-off win here for BU. Penn Roberts, far side, kind of juggles that ball. Frank Hill has it, comes near side. Brett Feldmeyer. Feldmeyers are just a 1-2 combination that are hard to top. Brother pair. Junior and freshman. Brody the freshman. Brett the junior. You add in Spencer Garrett. It's been a 3-way attack. As Brody Feldmeyer just missed. 6:35 left to go, third quarter. Wraparound attempt. Cooper Jerkovich wins the race. So Bulldogs will retain. Always interesting to see all those lacrosse balls lined up along the end line. Always have a fresh ball waiting for you. Get play quickly started. Real pain in the butt, though, afterwards.
Yeah, you got to collect them all up, right? I don't know where we'd be without these those Home Depot buckets, and they get pressed into play just like the baseball.
Turning, sidewinding, and firing home the goal.
Well, I mentioned it just a few minutes ago. It'd be nice to see Birmingham kind of turn the gas up again, which they have done now in the last minute or two, and stretch this lead back into the 10 double-digit range here. We'll see the last goal, and it's just good ball movement. And
Connell Hughes.
15 now.
Hughes' 12th goal of the season. That lead goes right back to 10. It was 9 at the halftime break. It was extended to 10. Clarkston kind of worked themselves back in, cut it down to 8. And since then, BU has cashed in on back-to-back goals, and they're going to wave it off, are they?
This is where we are at the mercy of our own lacrosse sensibilities. Try and figure out what happened there. We need communication between those referees and us.
Yeah.
Let's work on that.
At the very least, maybe the press box. Any help over there, gentlemen?
Yeah, Aaron's over there, but the way he constructed these press boxes, we're not allowed to speak to him.
We could perhaps pass a note.
Yeah.
There is a window between us
Right.
and the press box.
We need a what happened note.
We have the Clarkston coaching staff to our left and the press box to our right. Beautiful facilities here at Seaholm High School.
Yeah, Aaron Frank is the proud papa, and there's another goal. Now that is definitely going to count. That's 15. He is the proud papa of all these facilities. He's kind of overseen the redo of the fields, the baseball diamond, football practice field, the tennis courts, everything. The huge, gorgeous athletic facility with the indoor gym, offices. They got it all going on in there. And it's not done. He says by July we should have everything pretty much buttoned up.
Brody Feldmeyer's hat trick goal. Yeah, there's some folks hanging out over on that auxiliary gym. Kind of like, I don't know, what would you call that? Like a balcony almost?
Yeah, that's got the white railing you can lean over and watch. And we had a camera located there for the football game. Kind of an interesting vantage point, but we got to take a tour over there. Have you been in there yet?
I have not, as a matter of fact.
No, me neither. It looks fantastic, though. We'll make it a point to get over there before this season's over for all the spring sports.
Little shake and bake move by McEwen. He is a dangerous goal scorer for Clarkston. He has 2 of their 5 goals. You know, the flag comes from this near side official. So 15-5 our score now. BU goal was waved off. Slashing the call. So looking ahead for Birmingham, some big games loom. Game against Lance Cruz on the road coming up, and then a big one. On April 27th on Saturday, Brother Rice on the road before returning home to take on Bloomfield Hills. And then they're going to go over to the west side of the state, take on Ada Forest Hills Eastern and Grand Rapids Forest Hills Northern. A tough little stretch here for Birmingham. Really going to find out a lot about this team. Obviously, Brother Rice just continues to pile up hardware in the game of boys lacrosse. Seemingly win the state championship every single season.
Well, they didn't win one a couple years ago.
That's true. Catholic Central, another really good team.
Yeah, they lost to Catholic Central that year. That's right. That's what happened.
Clarkston 19-3 last season, regional championship, and then lose to Brother Rice in the state semifinals. It was a very senior-laden, veteran-laden squad last year for Clarkston. 12 seconds remaining on the man advantage here for the Wolves. Down 10 goals, 15-5 our score. Birmingham really poured it on in the first quarter of play. That's the big quarter for them. 8 goals to kick things off, led 8-1 after the first quarter of play, and really haven't had to look back. Clarkston has put up a little bit of a fight throughout this game, but those 8 first quarter goals have been a gigantic hill for Clarkston to climb. Tough pass, tough shot, tough goal. Parker Royce, he joins the mix in terms of goal scorers for Clarkston. Parker, a sophomore. So the sophomore showing up tonight for Clarkston.
Well, they have to. There's quite a few of them on the team, and this is a nice goal by Royce. They've been the master of the bounce shot in tonight. Several of their 6 goals have come via that style of shot, and we'll see this last one here. And it was a laser.
So Jeffrey goes low, almost kind of like the kick save attempt.
Yeah.
For a hockey goalie, and then the ball skips over via the skip shot. (15-6), 3 minutes exactly left to go in the third quarter. A takeaway, Tanner Neff on the far side. Now Neff has it knocked off his stick. So a little give and take over there. Well, anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, that slash job did the job big time. Just lodged the ball out of his net. Oh,
Feldmeyer, one full swoop, just kind of winds up and just lets it go.
Yeah. It's all wrist. I mean, nothing too fancy, but plenty of mustard on it. And in the goal, she went for 16. Now Birmingham against 6 for Clarkston. Let's see this last one. Just a whip shot, sidewinder. And no problem. Yeah.
A goal scorer's goal. Right?
That's what you'd say, yeah. Absolutely.
His 5th of the game.
And, you know,
Garrett's got 6.
they practice that. So that's nothing new. You know, they meant to do that. That's how it went. That was pretty impressive stuff.
Back at Bambro. Takes some abuse. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Clarkston feeling
Playing a little chippy out there.
Feeling themselves. They knew they had backup on that road bench. Unable to complete the pass, but Ty Duffy holds. Goes over to Furman. Goes back to Wandry. Changing direction, Furman. Cross-field pass, able to connect. Ellis York threw it, tried to thread a pass through all kinds of traffic. Unsuccessful there. Pass deflected, but controlled once again by Clarkston. Kind of the middle of our spring sports here, Andy, on BACB Sports. Wound up and completed our baseball portion of the schedule, but we got ourselves a softball doubleheader. We'll have girls lacrosse, water polo action as well. A good save, I thought, on this near side. Coach Stenson wanted a timeout, and he got it. Whoa, boy.
That's
one of the prettier timeouts you'll ever see in the game of lacrosse.
Yeah, that's fortuitous timing on the timeout, for sure.
What else do we got? Oh, soccer, girls soccer.
We got soccer, we got water polo, we've got softball. We've already completed baseball. That kind of came and went early this year. We had a lot more April shoots than we normally do.
With plenty of opportunities to see your Birmingham teams in action all season long here on BACB Sports.
In the meantime, you know, we do.
Always fun to call the rivalry games, but it's also fun when the two teams come together as one. The Groves and Seaholm squads. Doesn't happen too often. Boys and girls lacrosse, hockey. What else? That's it?
I think that's all. Yeah.
So take a look back at some of the Birmingham goals here in this third quarter. It was Spencer Garrett that opened the second half scoring, and then Brody Feldmeyer added in a couple. We also had a goal waved off, as you're also getting a look at some of the Wolves' goals. As Clarkston has scored 3 times as well here in the third. So plenty of action. 16-6 our score. Minute 41 left to go in the third, as you're taking a look now at Brett Feldmeyer, the latest goal to extend that lead back up to 10. His 5th goal of this game gives him 33 now on the season.
Yeah, that's a nice day at the office right there for a couple of these big-time Birmingham goal scorers.
Ball makes its way across the midfield stripe. Clarkston on the attack now. Ty Duffy walks in. It's Lucas Dighton. Dighton's 2nd goal of the game. Clarkston refusing to go away.
Now, they still have a mountain to climb, but they, let's give them credit. They're not laying down. They definitely want to be heard from yet, and we'll see this last goal.
Yep, good feed off the stick of Ty Duffy.
Right, good cycling of the ball up the field as they matriculated the ball up the field.
Very nice.
You know?
Dighton, the sophomore, 2 goals. He's been impressive, number 1. Minute left to go, 3rd quarter of play. Bulldogs in possession. Late ad comes on. That's Jake Coyle, the freshman. 2 goals, 3 assists on the season for that young man. It's a Birmingham team. It really has become a force in the game of boys lacrosse. The girls have had all kinds of success over the years under legendary head coach Jen Dunbar. Now all of a sudden the boys have really become perennial powers. 10 seconds. See, BU gets a shot off here on what should be the final possession of this 3rd quarter. Big scrum. Sticks, feet, everything getting tangled up down there. And finally, the horn sounds. 3 quarters in the books. Birmingham in front, 16-7. We'll take another break here on BACB Sports. 4th quarter play coming up next.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/olderadults.
12 minutes up on the big board. 4th quarter of play. The home team, Birmingham in front, 16-7. Opening face-off is won and controlled once again by the Bulldogs. 2 teams trade ends one final time. Birmingham has been explosive offensively. Goals in bunches, specifically from Spencer Garrett and Brett Feldmeyer. It's been fun to watch.
If you're a Birmingham fan, it has been an enjoyable outburst of goals, one after another after another.
Lucas Dighton and Kendall McEwen, 2 goals apiece for Clarkston. They've also gotten goals from Nicholas Furman, Charlie Formero, as well as Parker Royce. Nice job by our entire BACB Sports crew tonight. Lee Solomon directing things in the live truck. Steve Rhoda in there as well.
And let's give a special shout out to the camera guys working, all of them, outdoors tonight. Because when that sun went down, it got a little cool, especially those on the roof. And not all guys. I think Lily's up there or somewhere around. She might be in the truck. I'm not sure, but if you're outside working, hats off to you, everybody.
You and I went with the BACB Sports hoodies tonight. We typically go with the quarter zips. Tonight was a hoodie night.
Yeah, I think it was the right call, too.
Quick shot, big save. Probably the biggest and best save of the evening for Ethan Jeffrey, the senior goaltender for Birmingham. He hasn't been tested a lot, but he's come up big, one asked to. Brody Feldmeyer trying to avoid that long stick. Sean Alinari, the senior defender. Well, this one I practiced earlier this evening, Alinari.
Mm-hmm. Pulled it off flawlessly.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well.
Everyone lost track of that ball.
Yeah, Birmingham not content to sit on the 9-goal lead.
Arbus Mocker, the sophomore. And oh man, another one off the stick of Brett Feldmeyer. It's becoming a clinic as he has now matched Spencer Garrett's 6 goals. So we might have BACB Sports players of the game.
Well, how can you eliminate one or the other when they score that many each? And it wouldn't be unprecedented. We have had that in the past.
Certainly
there
have.
Been a leader in the clubhouse, as it were, coming into the decision-making process for the player of the game. So if one gets the 7th, we might tip the scale in his direction. But for now, you can't deny that those are dominant performances.
12 goals between the two. Crowd making some noise for some defense, and that was a blind side check. And there really is no room for that.
And Birmingham got their revenge on that by scoring a goal. And in another 1 goal, we're going to have a running clock here at this point.
So the ball kind of popped out here in front of the Birmingham bench. It was a blindside check. Well, the officials are going to talk things over. Not quite sure what the discussion's about. Now they're going to come and talk things over with the coaches as well. Maybe it's going to be each official is going to take a coach.
Yeah, right. Let's listen in. Oh, we can't. Okay.
So let's first take a look at the check.
And I'm sure Nick's wanting to know why there wasn't a penalty here. Watch this. That's a cross check all day. I don't know what in the world how they missed that.
Now the goal.
Okay. That looks like a goal, too. That has not gone up on the board, however. And there is still discussions going on with Kaminskis. Nick's backed away a little bit for now. He's sitting in the catbird seat up 10. So, while he's advocating for his players, I'm sure this is not a make or break decision here.
Let's, if I can, I'm asking the live truck here. Let's get one more look, if we can, at the goal. See if we can perhaps identify who scored it. They haven't put it up on the big board yet. It was Charlie Formero that supplied the check. If you're going to check somebody, you have to check them from the side or in front. You have to be within 5 yards of a player as well. And that's where I kind of find fault in the check. It wasn't a straight on check. It was clearly a blindside shot from behind. We'll take a look at the goal now. I believe we're gonna see another look at the goal. Is this Caleb Garrett, number 5 on that far side? Doesn't get a lot on the shot, and then kind of golfed at it. number 5, Caleb Garrett. And it looks like they put a minute up for the Charlie Fermero hit. So he's going to get penalized for the hit. They did not count the goal. So I assume the thought process is the hit occurred before the goal.
Well, it must have been. We got a minute on the board, number 32 in the box. So that's Fermero, the sophomore, is going to be sitting out here.
And now we're going to get timeout called. Well, now they did put the 18th goal up. So we apologize. We're at the mercy of the scoreboard operator. So Caleb Garrett will get credit with the goal. So it's 18-7 our score. So the goal counts. The penalty happens. Boy, oh boy, Charlie Fermero will sit for a minute. We got a timeout. Breaking the action, 18-7 our score. We gave you Birmingham's upcoming schedule. Look ahead to what Clarkston has. They too will go on the road to the west side of the state. They'll take on East Grand Rapids before returning home to take on Novi. Back on the road to take on OAA foe Rochester Adams before back-to-back home games with Romeo and Lake Orion. So the west side of the state getting some love from our 2 Oakland County schools.
And they have their own rich tradition over there. They've got a lot of quality athletic programs from Rockford to Grand Rapids, Forest Hills. They've all had periods of time where they've been absolutely dominant in the sport of lacrosse, as well as football and swimming, too.
Yep, there's a little bit of correlation between football success and lacrosse success. I feel like a lot of these same athletes play both of those sports.
This is true.
Perhaps my brother Rice is such a tradition of lacrosse, and now the scrappy play is going to pick up, and oh boy.
We got players running after each other.
Right onto the field, and he had one thing in mind when he stepped foot on the field.
Yeah, and this is the kind of game that can get out of hand if these referees don't rein it in pretty quickly, because some frayed nerves out there, and some, these guys are competitors. They're prideful, and you getting thumped like this, it doesn't feel good. So you're going to want to do some retaliating, even though you shouldn't. You stay within the rules, obviously, but it's tough.
Rodchick with the save. Somebody took a spill on that far side. Bambro pops back up. He's a lacrosse player. Doesn't look any worse for wear. And a fastball flung over onto this near side. Stick-to-stick pass. Ellis York. No look pass. Oh, boy. There's a highlight reel goal. Charlie Fermero freshly out of the box with the goal. But it's going to be the feed, the pass, that you're going to want to see again. All about the assist on this one.
Yeah, and this one
pass
was beautiful from the end, right from the inbounds.
Right here.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Very quick.
Wandry with the pass, the assist.
Sort of the underhand kind of a dump shot pass, scoop, I guess, scoop pass. And, they're 8th.
Danny Wandry gets the assist on the Charlie Fermero goal. Fermero's second goal of the game, 18-8. So lead down to 10 and back up to 11. They score on demand, Andy.
They sure do. I mean, that's
Penn Roberts.
Seems to be their mission here, is to answer every goal that's been scored by Clarkston with one of their own in the ensuing minute or less.
Running out of room here on my score sheet.
You needed a thick tablet to keep track of all the scoring in this game.
So 19 goals, well over their 14-goal average for the season. Not quite up to their most goals scored this season. That was that 20-goal outburst against Royal Oak in the 20-4 victory. Margin of victory, that too was their largest margin of victory, 16 goals. A 13-goal win over Traverse City Central and a 12-goal win over Macomb, Dakota. Uh-oh. Parker Royce knocked down.
We got John going back and forth, too, now. There's a flag just comes out. It's going to be maybe an unsportsmanlike.
And Penn Roberts had a few words.
It's getting a little chippy down there, Brad.
Not just down there.
Tensions are high.
Up here as well.
Yeah, right?
Down there and up here. Whoa.
Doors are slamming. Is that the coaching staff next door?
Yes, sir.
They've left the building.
So let's, with the timeout, we'll quickly throw it to a quick break. When we come back, the rest of the fourth quarter play.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
So a 2-minute penalty against Birmingham gives Clarkston the man-up advantage. High rebound. Soaring up, McEwen couldn't come down with it. And then a quick fire by Furman. Nicholas Furman with the goal, his second of the game. Pulls Clarkston back within 10.
And they are far from throwing in the towel here, that's for sure. You see, they missed on that first opportunity, but certainly made good on the second right there. Wow, Furman, it's a howitzer. Boom.
Sure you want to be a lacrosse goalie?
I'm not sure at all. No, I like to leave that to them. There isn't enough padding in the world. Think of the welts later in the evening. That's all I can think of is the pain.
Yeah, mamas don't let your babies grow up to be lacrosse goalies.
Right. Yeah, cowboy, piece of cake. Lacrosse goalie, not so much.
I mean, it's one thing to play goalie, in hockey where you have pads, a blocker, a glove. Folks, you just have a little bit of a bigger stick, right? That's all you got.
That's pretty much it.
A chest protector.
Yeah.
We'll get another timeout called.
Well, maybe now's a good time to dip into a couple fun facts about lacrosse. How's that?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
You know, the rules, they date back to 1794 when a game was played between the Seneca and Mohawk tribes. You remember that game?
I do not. I was not around for that one.
Oh, yeah, I was there. I looked it up on FanDuel at the time. It was pulled. They pulled it down. I think the goalie was on paternity leave or something. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but that was sort of, as we learned one other year when we were giving facts, is that the natives were trying to distract the English by creating this game that everyone was watching, and they were distracting British soldiers in order to recapture Fort Michilimackinac in the UP. So, and this actually came from BerkhamstedSports.com. I looked up what that is. It's a school in England. So, yeah, the state of Michigan has a little piece in the original development of the sport of lacrosse.
Interesting. It is the national sport of Canada.
This is true. That is another one.
Most people think it's hockey. Nope, it's lacrosse.
No, it's lacrosse. And when those Native Americans were playing, sometimes they had as many as 100 to 1,000 players at one time in one game. Imagine trying to get everybody playing time with a bench like that.
I don't know if it was a bench like that. I think everybody was on the field.
They were all on the field.
All calling for the ball at the same time.
There's only one ball, right?
Right, one ball and 1,000 players on each side.
Good luck.
Everybody gets a touch.
But that's it. Only one. Yeah.
Games took weeks, months, and only one goal was scored.
Right, yeah.
So BU on the attack now, up those 10 goals, 15 seconds remaining in their penalty. So they're going to kill off some extracurriculars. Yeah.
They're going to rein it in. They should. I mean, we've seen in the last 5 minutes quite a bit of, and another flag now.
Yeah, this official on the near side. The ball came flying out of his pocket before the flag was tossed, and now appears to be a Clarkston player down. Coach K is going to check in on him.
It's a personal foul. That ref does not have enough flags in his pocket. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's definitely the last 5 minutes, the chippiness.
There's a high hit by Clarkston.
Oh, and we got a player down. Where is he? Oh, he is over there on the sidelines. That was just out of our view.
Athletic trainer Bill Watson tending to him.
He's holding his ribs, and again, this is not what you want to see. This is not how you want to end a game with this type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not violence as much as just rough play that's not called for. I mean, certainly the game is all but decided with 5:19 to go and a 10-goal lead by Birmingham, but
Penn Roberts already in the penalty box. They're going to add Dylan Gottsman in there as well for 2 minutes. They do have a Clarkston penalty in Ellis York, because we'll take a look back now at some of the Clarkston goals as well as a few of the Birmingham goals here in this fourth quarter of play. 3 goals scored for BU, including that wacky one off of the stick of Caleb Garrett. Excuse me. And then it was Penn Roberts to finish up the scoring. There's that no-look pass. Goal scored by Charlie Fermero.
Still didn't see the hit that caused this player to go down, and we can't even get a number on him. Oh, he's in some discomfort, though. He's going to be able to walk off under his own power, thankfully.
So it's number 9 for Clarkston, Ellis York, senior. He's holding his midsection. He walks off under his own power.
That is
support from a teammate.
Yeah, we may not see him again tonight.
So 19-9, our score, 5:19 left to go, and one hopes the extracurriculars are over.
Well, what started out as a fun little lacrosse game has turned into a kind of an action-packed, lots of extracurricular type event, but kind of hoping to finish this one up soon.
BU looking to clear it out of their defensive zone, and they will do just that. So down nearly length of the field. So the first penalty is over. Teams are at even strength. Clarkston penalty will end before the BU penalty, so Clarkston will go back a man up, as Ellis York's penalty just has 20 seconds remaining on it. Kind of get the sense that Birmingham is kind of pulled back, so to speak. And we'll gladly kill off some of this clock. Some fancy footwork by Brody Feldmeyer. Trying to work his way around a defender. Molinari there. So Clarkston at full strength. Man advantage now for the Wolves for the remaining 50 seconds. However, they do not possess it. They will have a Clarkston penalty coming up. Far side official did throw a flag. So delayed penalty coming up. It's going to be a slash. 1-minute slash against Jacob Murray, the senior. So 4:02 left to go in regulation. 19-9 our score. We are looking more and more like we are going to have co-players of the game.
Yeah, it's pointing to that.
Well, you could interview the entire team. Done a team effort tonight.
How much time do we have? A couple hours?
Brett Feldmeyer, 6 goals in this contest. Spencer Garrett, 6 goals as well. Hard to pick one from the other. 4 first quarter goals by Spencer Garrett really kind of opened up the scoring. I guess he kind of set the tone tonight. But then you'd feel like you left out Brett. Number 17, Brett Feldmeyer, 6 as well.
We don't want to leave anybody out. We're here. We're all about giving everybody their due.
So Clarkston penalty just about ready to expire. 2 teams will go back to even strength. Clarkston, one of those long sticks. Alnari has it, shovels it ahead. Waiting for it, Evan Tone, sophomore. Really get the sense that this team is a underclassmen squad. Kaminskis really pointed that out to you, and it's a team that will retool and rebuild and be back. Clean hit. That was straight on. Lucas Dighton hit the deck.
Yeah, in this game, the varsity game, kind of a direct opposite of the JV game in which Clarkston pulled out, 7-5, I believe I saw that final was. So, and that was back and forth. I mean, it was a 3-3, 4-4, 5-5. It was going that way the whole second half, and then ended up with Clarkston pulling ahead at the very end. But this one has been all Birmingham.
Yeah, you and I were a little nervous about the ending of that JV game. Those dreaded words. Dreaded word, overtime.
Overtime, yeah. Yeah, that tends to push back our games, doesn't it?
It's kind of equalizer after equalizer. That hasn't been the case. 8-1, our score after 1 quarter of play. That really set the tone. And Birmingham has been in cruise control since. Another delayed call coming up against Clarkston. It's been a relatively quiet third period. Just 3 goals for Birmingham. Clarkston has netted 2. Now the old game of keep away, and Clarkston really not going to pressure either. So just under a minute now left to go. Still waiting on that delayed penalty call. We may not even see it get called.
No, we may not. I think both sides would just soon put this one in the books. And for Clarkston, they want to regroup. Come back at it again. Birmingham's more than content to savor their 10-goal lead and take it home. And so I think that's probably the wise move by all considered, especially considering the amount of rough play we saw there. Yeah, in the fourth quarter, we don't need any more injuries. We don't need anything to break out here. It's an emotional game. I mean, these guys go at it, and they're very prideful. So, super effort by Birmingham tonight, though. They're going to point back at this one, I think, and be very proud of their effort that they gave it all they had and came out on the winning side.
They rush the field. Both teams will congratulate their goaltenders. Ethan Jeffrey in net picks up the victory for Birmingham. 19-9 our final score. Birmingham improves to 7-1 on the season. Clarkston falls to 6-4. We'll take a final break here on BACB Sports. When we come back, our post-game coverage, including Andy's Player of the Game interview.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back one final time to Birmingham Seaholm High School. What a performance by Birmingham here in the 19-9 victory over the Clarkston Wolves as Birmingham improves their overall record to 7-1. Clarkston falls to 6-4. Brett Feldmeyer and Spencer Garrett, 6 goals apiece for Birmingham here tonight. They are our co-BACB Sports Players of the Game. Andy Aubrey is field level with Spencer and Brett.
All right, Brad, thanks very much. We are here with our BACB Sports co-players of the game, number 17, Brett Feldmeyer, and number 22, Spencer Garrett. Gentlemen, phenomenal effort, 19-9. You got to love it. Just take us through that game. We'll start with you, Brett. I mean, you started hot, and you guys never really took your foot off the gas. That's always the game plan, but how are you able to do it tonight?
Yeah, I think just starting fast. We got it going on face-offs pretty early, and just to push tempo got us to the lead really early, and I think that was the benefit towards the second half, just not playing catch-up.
Yeah, you didn't have to play catch-up. They had to play catch-up, and they had no hope. Spencer, things got a little chippy out there. You got a little mouse on the forehead. I mean, take me through the game as it evolves into that direction while you're trying to, maintain your composure, but you don't want to lay down and let them take advantage of you, right?
Yeah, we had a really strong first quarter, first half, and then after halftime they kind of got a little bit of a comeback, and fourth quarter got chippy. A lot of penalties. We got a couple stupid penalties, unsportsmanlike conduct and stuff. And after that, we had to keep our composure. They got a couple goals in and had to just kind of hold the ball towards the end of the game and slow it down.
Right. What did Coach say to you when things got a get crazy there?
We just got to let the scoreboard talk. I mean, we already did what we had to do, just finish the game strong.
Right. Now, what kind of a momentum can the win against a team like this do for you guys the rest of the year?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Carry us forward. This is like a league game, I think, so it's going to – I mean, we have Rice on Saturday, which is going to be a big game, but this will carry us through next week. We go to Grand Rapids next weekend, so these couple wins we've gotten the last couple games should really, really help us.
Right. Yeah, no, that's big. And, again, I think this is going to really kind of propel you guys because you look back on it. You know they're a good team. And it was pretty dominant by you guys. So congratulations to you both. Best of luck when you go on the west side. Bring them back some Birmingham victories and make us proud. And, we'll be following your progress the rest of the year. So congratulations again. We're going to wrap it up from down here for right now, but we'll send it back up to Brad to wrap us up and get us out of here.
All right, thank you so much, Spencer and Brett, co-BACB Sports Players of the Game. Spencer Garrett now 22 goals on the season. Brett Feldmeyer 34 to lead all Birmingham Bulldogs in scoring. Terrific performance, and I think both of those guys hit the nail on the head. Spencer Garrett, 4 first quarter goals, 8 goals total by Birmingham in that first quarter of play, as that really kind of set the tone. And BU was able to put it in cruise control as they come away victors one final time by the final score of 19-9. For our hardworking BACB Sports crew, including my color analyst, Andy Aubrey, I'm Brad Fetter saying goodnight. One final time from Seaholm High School. Once again, your final score, Birmingham 19, Clarkston 9. Thank you so much for watching this BACB Sports production.